Hello and welcome to the Sales Acceleration Show.
Andy,
I'm Andy.
Andy,
I'm your host.
Andy,
and this is Michael.
Andy, stop. Team who invited this guy? Okay, clearly. Andy, let's switch.
Okay, let's switch.
This is not gonna work.
Okay.
This is not gonna work.
Okay.
You see, it is important for me to sit a little bit higher than you.
Is
so
it?
At least no, it's not. Andy.
Yes.
You are unstoppable. That's what I see everywhere. If you go to Instagram, it's all over the place. So I'm actually wondering, what do you do?
What I do? Well, I think
Are you going to repeat my question the whole time?
Yes. Yes. That's what I do.
No, repeating.
It gives me time
It's
to think
Andy,
about
Mr.
a great answer. So, what I do is just being me. That's one of the things. I know who I am, I know what I stand for, and I know what I want to achieve. And that's what I aim
But what's
for.
then your business? I understand that you know who you are, which is great, but what's the business then? What do you do? How do you help people?
Yes, but this is part of the business. You have to know who you are in order to understand what you want and where you want to go, whether that's personal or in business.
Wait, we have a big problem.
Okay.
You're shining.
I'm shining.
Shining assistant, please. De-shine, Andy. Yeah, voila. How does it feel being
Pampered, nice.
pampered? So, do you also have a de-shining assistant?
That's a great question. I don't think so. I think it's just me,
You're
myself,
actually in
and
the business
I.
of the... This is an interesting way to do an interview. So, Andy, you said you were unstoppable. Let's go back to that, yeah? So you know who you are, you know where you want to go to, you want to know how to get things done in life.
Yeah.
So how do you help your customers? That's the base for helping your customers. How does it work? And you should thank people.
Oh, thank you, Philin, for making me de-shine.
So, Mr. D-Shine.
Yeah, Mr. D-Shine. That's a good one. Okay, though, I think where it comes down to is if you look at whether it's personal or business, if you want, most people don't really know what they want. It's in here or it's in there. And then it's sometimes very difficult to make it real because once you say it out loud, once you make it real, you have to come with responsibility and accountability to go and make it real.
Yeah.
If you say, okay, I'm going to invite 10 people for a show on that date, well, you have to be here, like today.
But it's my only system is if I don't do it like that, it's never going to happen. So
Exactly.
I force myself.
Yes.
That's how I started with the show. That's how I do
Exactly.
everything. I force myself. I got to get on the stage. I got to do stuff.
So that's a great mechanism.
Yeah.
But you know what you want. What is the purpose of this
Hang on.
show?
For the last 2 years, I know where I want to go to and what I want, but it took me 22 years to figure. I knew what I didn't want. I never knew what I wanted, which was really hard. So, yeah, but Michael, if you want, I said, I have no clue.
But this is a very practical advice, actually.
Yeah.
Advice. If you don't know what you want, you start with what you don't want because you want the exact opposite.
And the other thing I realized is if I start doing things, and I think it's the hardest, something's wrong, you feel something's wrong, start with it, and as you go, you'll adapt and the journey changes. Because when I see someone, let's say a very famous person on the stage, you think, Jesus Christ, I can never be that good. But they started somewhere.
Well, everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
And this is what
So
you
where does
have
this
to be
unstoppable
willing.
come from? Because I really like the concept.
Unstoppable comes from, well, first knowing what you want and making a decision in that you claim and you deserve and you are going to achieve it. That's the first thing. That makes you already unstoppable, just by deciding that. It requires courage, determination, it requires willpower, it requires a plan, a strategy, and all that together, that is what gives you being unstoppable. So first of all, making the decision. And then we are conditioned as human beings, we are conditioned to understand, okay, but how am I going to do this? What are my 6 steps? And this is how we are conditioned. And where I want to take you is that actually the how will come anyway.
Yeah.
It's what you want, why you want it, by when do you want it, and who is going to help you. And somewhere in there is step 1. From the how, and you're going to start with that one step, and then you're going to trust the process that actually opportunities will come along and you will understand which opportunity you have to bounce back or say yes to.
So how do you deal then with, it makes a lot of sense. First of all, you see I'm suddenly very serious, because it makes sense. How do you deal with people that I meet a lot of people that kind of switch every day. They have another idea and then they go left and then right and then up and down. And It's very hard to get them on a course at a certain stage.
It is.
There must be some system around it. Company's called Chaomatic from Chaos. I'm very unstructured, but in a weird way, I learned that I like to think in parallel, but it always goes in the same direction.
Yeah.
But that took a while.
Yes. I mean, two things. First of all, that says more about them than about you or me. Okay, so it's like going to a horse race, right? You can bet on one horse or you can bet on several ones. If you bet on one horse, all the energy and all your money actually will go to that horse. If you bet on several ones, your energy and your money will go to different ones. But
I wanted to say, from a person that would have a fear against the change in the world, I would not put all my money on one, or all my eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. But at the same time, you need a course, you need direction in order to understand what you need to do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis in order to understand whether you're getting closer or you're staying where you are. So if you do that for 5 projects at the same time, I mean, a day has 24 hours. Yeah. So you give an hour to this, an hour to that, or maybe 2 hours to this, an hour to that. And then at the end of the month, you're getting nowhere.
So then accountability is actually one of the key things, whatever you decide, whatever you go for.
Well, and this is where Unstoppable comes in, because responsibility and accountability is one. I'm taking you to ownership. And that's one step above accountability. Accountability is you being responsible for it, and ownership is really that you claim it. So you do everything to get it. Yeah. And that starts here, with owning the voices, the thoughts, with thinking in results.
We have a solution for those voices.
Yes! Slap out of it! Let's say that you know what you want, but then your life changes, shit happens, and you can either choose for the thing that you want, or you can choose for option B. The easiest one is to go for option B and say, okay, well then I'm happy with it. But is that really so? At the end, you maybe said yes at that moment, yeah, so you gave yourself instant gratification, which we all know in this world today. But at the same time, you are lying, well, between brackets, you're lying to yourself, because this is initially what you wanted. You deserve that. Mm-hmm. So owning your results, thinking in results, owning your thoughts, understanding who you need to be in order to get there. Why do you want it? What is the pleasure or the feelings you're going to get from, well, first of all, working towards it, and then getting it, and then having it, and then consuming it. And then secondly, by when do you want it? So you make it real. And then who's going to help you? Because, if we talk about, let's say, Tony Robbins or Brendon Burchard, these people also started somewhere in a room with 10 people. Mm. And now, obviously, they have a team of 1,000 people. But you have to start. Yeah. And
that's why I write in all my emails, go, go, go.
Yeah, exactly. Gas erop, you know?
Yeah. Talking about instant gratification, you should go to Instagram. Okay. You have a very special Instagram. It's packed. It's so many stories on there. It's just keep moving. Yes. A lot of high-fiving, a lot of dancing, and a lot of motivational. But how do you do it? You must spend days, hours of that 24 hours on Instagram.
Yeah, that's a question I actually get a lot. And to be fair, I spend, between 1 and 2 hours a day on Instagram.
It's reasonable then.
Yeah, well, everything has, I made a post about it. I'm very deliberate, right? So everything that I do has a purpose. Everything that I do is either to get, revenue in, to give or get value, or to give or get energy from. Yeah. So if I look at Instagram, Instagram is one thing, but it's part of your whole business model or who you are. So who I am in the real world is also the person that I am on Instagram, or vice versa.
So there is no slight change in alter ego?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. No. I have that a little bit.
You do?
No, I have to rephrase. I used to have that. Okay. And as time progresses and people like you and Peter keeps telling me, Michael, just try to be you, I end up in a show with t-shirts. If you translate this, what that means?
Just
it means,
shut up.
No. It means I love you. Now.
Okay, that's a good one.
Instagram. So how do you do it then?
Okay,
because it's a lot of stories. It's
a lot of stories.
And stories do work for you? Because I thought it was reels all over the place.
It dropped a little bit now, but again, it's about consistency and never giving up, and believing in what you do is making you get there. So I'm not stopping. I continue. You can take your camera and say, okay, today I have 5 coaching calls and I'm going to do this and that. I mean, nobody got time for that. In a world where we follow maybe 800 to 900 people a day, you see so many different stories. You need to be different. And this is what I try to do, where I differentiate myself. So I'll make a post, and then around that post, I'll make a story. Or I give also a lot on my Instagram, so I share lots of things from other entrepreneurs that I know that would require a little bit more visibility or success or have an event going on. In order to bring that in, I create a story.
Mm-hmm. Always story.
I always bring a story in. I think it says a lot. I mean, stories help. Stories let you imagine things.
I'm just thinking about mine, and I'm just posting random fun stuff. I never thought about storylining it properly.
Well, I didn't think of it either. It just happened. But then, why now?
Thank you for this publicity.
I mean, come on. You should know this as first one. Why now? They need to buy now.
Can I go home?
Yes.
Can I go home?
It's time to switch the rules.
You can just keep talking.
Okay, great. So I'm just taking over here. Wait, I'm just going to take on back my own show. This is maybe not so good. Okay, good. So clearly this is not been working out. So I think I'm just going to continue on my own. What is unstoppable?
No, we were just playing an annoying Andy. Andy, big thanks for coming.
Okay.
And I think we should do one thing, which you always do, is but you should go sit
there.
I
should go back.
Try not to break our technical material. What we should do is do a high five.
Yes! Voila!
Thank you for watching. Catch you soon online.
Cut!
We hebben 1, 2, we hebben een derde. En ik zit hier zo, Man, stop nou lachen.
I'm very serious now.
Dan ben je aan het lachen.